Hi, Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we're on to our next video request, a quartet song by Willie Neal Johnson. This is just a rehearsal. Let's get after it. We're in the key of G on this one, and we're going to do a little something different. We're going to do a split keyboard lesson at the same time. I'll show you. First of all, key of G, and back down. All right, so that's our scale practice. This song really has 4 chords. A 7th, G7th, or diminished. Here it says diminished, but it's really in G. And this chord, which if you're familiar with how the gospel chords sound, you know about this chord. That's a G7th chord because I've got the G in there. But with the bass, it'll be a G7. You're going to have now those who count the number system, this would be the 1 or the 7th. This would be the 4 or this one, because they do use both notes in this song. They use the 5, which is the D. They use the 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the E minor chord. And they use it in the quartet style. So we're going to get you first locked into what the bass is doing. You're going to like this video breakdown. Bass. Missed it. Slow it down. And boom. Bum. This drill. Rest. And so of course you can't do that without your drummer. So when you're going to do a split keyboard, you've got to think like a bass player. This song really uses a standard bass run. They use the same bass run throughout the entire song. And from a split keyboard standpoint, your chord is here. So of course, your vocals are singing here. This is just a rehearsal. So that's where your vocals are. So your chords are right here. Ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, bum, bum. Resolve right there. Now the next verse, they switch up on the bass and the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so let me put the little pattern with that. And 1, 2, 3. Go to the minor. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And bum 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 bum. we go, the change to the minor. 2, 3, and bum 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 bum. So that's the entire song. There's not really much more I can add to that. How do you practice this? By practicing your scales. And then you begin to think like a bass player. And a bass player, because I did try to play bass when I was a youngster. Didn't like it because there wasn't enough notes for me. But the bass player always moves his hands in the place of when he wants to play the next note. So if you're going to emulate a bass sound with a split keyboard, your hands must move to where the notes are. And when I'm in a split mode bass hand wise, I try to think like a bass player on one hand while I'm doing my other stuff on the right hand. So those are the chords. Now you don't have to do this all the time. Then the climb, 2, 3, and getting ready to change to the minor. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Come out of it. 2, 3, and bump. 3 times. Bump, 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 bump. 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more with the bass pattern. I'll leave a bit of the drum there so that you can work on this also. Here we go. Change. To the E minor. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. E flat. E rather jump. Bump, 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 bump. 1, 5. Bump, 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 bump. And second verse. 2, 3, back 2. Hope you're working with your chords. Change to the E flat. D over a C. Pop. And bum 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 bum. All right, this is a little bit different. Thought I would put that bass lesson in there also. A previous viewer requested that I give a bass pattern. I may need to go back and redo his if he sees this one. Sound of Joy Music Services, if you like these videos and the path that we're taking, especially doing these type of quartet sounds where we can also demonstrate how you can split the keyboard. And if you've got a drum pattern, great. Kind of putting two people out of a job, but sometimes when you're the only musician, you take advantage of what your keyboard gives you. Sound of Joy Music Services, please subscribe to us, give us that thumbs up, like, and keep those viewer requests coming. See you on the next video. Take care.